Good morning, children. So, children, after a long time, again we are with a new video of the chapter Electoral Politics. So, children, in my previous video, just revise what we have done. In my previous video, I discussed about what are elections and why do we need elections. We discussed about this, why do we need elections. In that we discussed that we need elections because in India representative democracy is there. Representative democracy means in representative democracy people of the country they elect the representatives from different area which is areas of the country which is divided which is known as constituency. We don't give directly vote to prime minister. As you see that in America presidential democracy is there. When elections are taking place, voting is given on the name of president. But in India, representative democracy is there. And in representative democracy, elections becomes a must. So we discussed about what are elections. In that we discussed about Haryana, how elections took place in Haryana. We also discussed about the Lok Dal party, about Devi Lal, how he won the election, what was the name of the party, what efforts he did, and how he became the Chief Minister of Haryana. So all these things were discussed in a previous lesson, previous part of the video. We also discussed about competition is there in elections. Is this competition good or bad? Yes. If competition is lacking in any election, we cannot give the name, we cannot say that it is real election. Elections means competition should be there between different political leaders. But children, that competition should be healthy competition, and nowadays these things are lacking. What our leaders are doing during elections, they just levy allegations against each other. They just give different type of speeches and they levy allegations and to create differences among the people, and this leads to riots among the people also at the time of election. Different people, and due to this the country is divided into different factions and different parts. So competition should be not such that due to which divisions are there between different people, difference are created between different people. This competition should be healthy competition. So competition should be there, but competition should be healthy competition. So these aspects we discussed in a previous video, and today we'll start with the different steps or different parts how election is conducted in a country. And this will start with the first, that is constituency. I think this I have discussed in my previous video also. Constituency means for conducting election, the country is divided. If it is general election at the central level, country is divided into different parts, and that part is divided area wise, and each area should have similar population, and this division of different parts for purpose of contesting election country into different parts, this division is known as constituency. And from different constituencies, different political parties, they give a chance to the candidates to contest election. So this is known as constituency. For purpose of election, country is divided into different areas. For example, if you are living in Danapur, suppose you will give vote only in Danapur constituency. You don't have to give vote. Your parents are not giving vote in Patna city or in any other area. So the area in which you live, there only you have to give the vote. This is known as constituency. So first, for purpose of election, the country is divided, or in state elections, the state is divided into different constituencies. Okay? So constituency. After constituency, this constituency, some seats are reserved for people of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Children, now you will ask that why reservations are given to them. Children, reservations are given to them because you know that in past, before independence, people belonging to different castes, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, they were badly treated in a country. They were just discriminated, and they were not allowed, means they were not given equal preferences. So as you should know that these people are also part of our country, and they should also have political representation. But children, our constitution makers thought that if after independence If no seats will be reserved for people of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, they will not dare or they will not feel good to stand against a people of higher caste, because the mentality is that this particular person, they are higher caste, and always they have a feeling that we belong to lower caste, they have been discriminated. So they said that let us solve the problem, and as there are 543 constituency, from that constituency some seats are reserved from scheduled caste and scheduled tribes according to their percentage in population. And in reservation, suppose if certain constituencies, certain areas are reserved, in that areas only candidates of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes will contest election. If candidates are there, a candidate of scheduled caste will contest against candidate of scheduled caste only. No higher caste people interference will be there. And this reservation has been done for upliftment of people of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So this is known as what? Reserved constituency. So in case of constituency also, reserved constituencies are there. So after constituency, the announcement of reserved constituency is being done. So this is the first step of election. The whole country is divided into different constituencies like this. So after constituency, step by step we will study that what things are done, what are the different steps of contesting election. And the first step is, we'll discuss about preparation of voters list. And this preparation of voter list or electoral rolls, they start just some 1 year or after sometime before the dates have been announced. That means when 1 or 2 years is left for election, this preparation of voter list starts. So how voters list is prepared? In preparation of voters list means each and every people of our country who has completed the age of 18 years, you know that in our country universal adult franchise is there. Any person irrespective of any caste, creed or color, he is included in voters list. Another name of voters list is electoral roll. So voters list is prepared, every person is included in it, and this voters list, as it is prepared after every 5 years. Why? Because suppose in this election, if anyone is of 17 years, in next election he will cross the 17 years, he will be more than 18 years. So a fresh electoral voters list is prepared in every election. And what happens in that also, many transfer cases, the people, those who have died or those whose name is included in the death list, their names are excluded. Suppose certain transfer cases are there, if any person have been transferred from Madhya Pradesh to Gujarat, from one state to another state, their name are also been excluded. So a fresh voter list is prepared in each and every election. And in preparation of voter list, you see that election photo identity card is also given, EPIC. Every person has to take that election card for giving the vote. So the voters list is being prepared. After preparation of voter list, what happens? Nomination of candidates starts. Nomination of candidates means a person, those who wants to contest election, they fill a nomination forms. And in filling nomination forms, they give all the details about their age, qualification, their assets and liabilities. And children, in past, before some years, in filling nomination form, they had to fill a form and give it to election commission. But now the pattern has changed. In filling nomination form, no information should be hidden. This nomination form is filled and it is publicly shared. Each and every person should know every details about a person who is contesting election or who is their candidate. Now children, just realize, just you can tell me why this step has been taken by election commission. This step has been taken because every person in a democratic country should have right to know each and everything about the candidate to whom he is giving the vote. There should be transparency between the candidate and the common people. So each and every candidate should mention each and every details about his qualification, about his assets, liabilities, about the qualification of his children, and everything should be mentioned so that the people of the nation should know that to whom they are giving the vote. And in this nomination form, some restrictions are there. If any criminal case is pending against any person, that person is not allowed to fill the nomination form. And some exceptions are there. A person who has unsound mind, he is also not allowed the nomination form. So these things are there. So after electoral roll, nomination form is been filled. After nomination form is filled, you know that announcements of dates are being done, and then the process of election campaigning starts. And this process of election campaign does not start after announcement of dates. It starts with full speed after dates announcement. But this election campaigning, in reality, it starts before 1 years, we can say, when elections are going to take place. You know that now elections are going to take place in our state Bihar. You know that some of the political parties, they have started campaigning just from today also. They start campaigning before 1 year, because this is not a short process, but this campaigning starts with full-fledged speed when dates are being announced. And in this campaigning means the different political leaders, the different candidates, what they do, they just tell that, they just represent, they just give their speeches, and in their speeches they share their political agenda. They share whatever they have written in the election manifesto. They say that if you will give us vote, when we will come to power, we'll do this work, we'll work for the development of the nation, we will just implement these policies. And they give various slogans in campaigning process. I think you would remember about Mrs. Indira Gandhi. She gave slogan that Garibi Hatao. Then in Janata Dal, they also gave the slogan of Save Democracy. N.T. Ramarao also gave many slogans, like for example in Andhra Pradesh he gave the slogan that save the self-respect. So that means different slogans are being given. You can say that at present, you know, our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he gave the slogan that Achhe Din Aayenge. So these slogans are being given by political parties for their campaigning, for the advertisement. Like this step of campaigning takes place, which is done by the different political leaders to just make aware the people about the policies and programs. They say that if you will give vote to us, we will implement these policies and programs. So the election campaigning takes place. After election campaigning, the next step is polling, giving votes, isn't it? And in giving votes, what happens? A person, the voting day comes, when he goes to give vote, he has to take EPIC, election photo identity card, and this vote is given by two process. In past polling booths, secret ballot system was used. In secret ballot system, a person just, he gave the vote, and then no other person could know. They should know that to which candidate he is giving the vote. But nowadays, the secret ballot system, along with that, EVM machine is being used, that is electronic voting machine. This system is being followed in our country. So the next step is polling, and after polling, the last step of election is counting. After the polling day, when the people go and give the vote, the EVM machines, they are just taken to a separate place, their collection is been done, and a day is announced that on this particular day counting will be done. And on the counting day, you know that in all the TV channels, different anchors, what they do in the different news channels, they come and they just announce the results of election. So this we have discussed about the different steps of election and how election is being conducted in a country, and how after conduction of election, when elections are being conducted, how results are being announced in a country. And after announcement of results, you know very well that what happens? Formation of government take place. A party which gets majority, that party forms the government, and the leader of the majority party becomes Prime Minister. And at the state level, if assembly elections are taking place, leader of majority party becomes Chief Minister. So this is the way how election is taking place in a country. So children, today we have discussed about what are the different steps of election. In that we discussed about constituency. We also discussed about reserved constituency, what is reserved constituency, why reserved constituencies should be there in our country. Then we discussed about election campaigning, we discussed about voters list. We also discussed about that how voters list are made. We also discussed about what is another name of voter list. And lastly, we discussed about how election campaigning is done, how voting is done, and how counting is been done. So these are, in short, we have discussed the different steps of election. So children, from the part which I have taught you, different questions can come. And the questions are, the first question that can come is, define constituency. In this, you have to write what description which I have given you. It is given in your book also. Then a separate question can come for 3 marks, that what are reserved constituency. Reserved constituency, that also I have explained you that what you have to write, what is reserved constituency, why need of reserved constituency was felt, and how it is mentioned in a constitution. Okay. Then a separate question can come, what are the different steps of election and how election is been conducted in our country. So this question mostly it comes for 5 marks, and from this part separately the question can come for 3 marks also. Like this, a question can come that what is election campaigning. The question can also come, we'll discuss in the next video regarding code of conduct, that what is code of conduct we will discuss. That will discuss in the next video regarding code of conduct, function of election commission. So today we have discussed about the different steps of election. You just go through the taught portion and you make short, at least 10 short MCQs from the taught portion which I have taught you. So today I end my video, and in my next video we will just continue with what is code of conduct, what are functions of election commission, and what makes elections democratic. So thank you children. We'll continue in the next class.